Welcome back to the Little Marketing Podcast, where we share practical, real-life advice for Australian small businesses. We're so excited that we've recently hit over 5,000 downloads on our podcast. Thank you to everyone that tunes in every week. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss another episode. So on the back of last week's episode where we spoke about SEO, which is search engine optimization and showing up organically on Google, today we're going to talk about something that's becoming more and more important, which is AEO, which is Answer Engine Optimization. That probably sounds like another marketing jargon, but just stick with me through today's episode because this one is getting increasingly important for people searching now and with their behavior changing due to all of the AI tools that are around us. So let's talk about what AEO is in simple terms. So SEO was all about helping your business show up organically in Google search results. But AEO is helping your business show up as the answer when someone asks a question, which is often in AI tools like ChatGPT. So instead of someone just typing in gardener in Ramsgate, they might ask a question instead, like who are some good gardeners around me? Or how much does gardening cost in my area? And then instead of needing to scroll through heaps of pages, they're getting a direct answer, and that's the shift that we're starting to see with people searching and asking questions instead of searching just for keywords. So it matters for small business because it's important to acknowledge how the search behavior is changing. People aren't just typing in keywords anymore, they're asking full questions, they're using AI tools like ChatGPT, voice assistants, and even Google itself is starting to prioritize direct answers at the very top over showing all of the links. So if your marketing is only set up for traditional SEO, you're still probably going to be found, but you're not going to be part of the actual answer of the people that are searching on AI platforms. And that's the big difference because being one of 10 links is one thing, but being in the actual answer is another level of confidence and trust for your potential customers and clients. Is marketing overwhelming for your small business? Get in touch with our team today. So the good news is that this isn't all going to be starting from scratch. AEO actually builds on a lot of the foundations from SEO. It's still about your website. It's still going to be about your content, and it's still about being really clear on what you do and who you help. But the difference is how that content is structured and written on your website. So with SEO, we're thinking about the keywords, but with AEO, we're thinking about the questions and the answers. So instead of just having a page that's called gardening services in Ramsgate, you might also have content that answers other things like how much does a gardener cost in Ramsgate, what services does a gardener provide, and how often should you book a gardener? Because those are the types of questions that people are asking now, and they're the type of answers that AI is pulling to then answer those questions. So one of the biggest things with AEO is clarity, and that's what those AI platforms are looking for, clear, concise answers that they can pull. So if your website is really overwhelming or it's really wordy or you're just trying to sound a bit too impressive, it makes it really hard for platforms like ChatGPT to pull direct information from it. Whereas if your content is really clear, direct, you have headings, it makes it really easy for these platforms to pull those answers from there. So another big shift we're seeing is the structure, and the structure is going to matter more than ever if you want your answers to be pulled into AI platforms. So things like having headings, clear sections, and direct answers within your content is going to make a really big difference. You could kind of think about it like if you were talking to someone in person, and if they asked you a question, you wouldn't just bounce around it for 5 minutes, you just answer them directly, and that's exactly what AI is looking for. So similar to SEO, consistency still matters for AEO, and the more relevant your content is, and the more signals you're sending out about what your business does and who they do it for, and over time that's going to build authority and trust for your business, not just through Google, but through these AI platforms as well. So you might be listening to today's episode and thinking, okay, so where do I start? So start with your customers and what are the questions that they ask you all the time? So they might ask you these questions on the phone, they might ask them in emails, in consultations, or even in your social DMs. Those questions are your content. And if you can answer those questions clearly on your website, you're already moving in the right direction for both SEO and AEO. And the really important thing to remember is to not overcomplicate it. AEO isn't all about being tricky or trying to For the AI platforms, it's about having genuinely clear and direct answers. And if the content on your website is actually answering these answers really simply, then you have exactly what these AI platforms are looking for. But if we zoom out for a second, SEO helps people find you, AEO helps position you as the answer. And moving forward, the businesses that are going to do both really well are the ones that are going to have the strongest visibility online. So the takeaway from today is to stop thinking as much about the keywords, but also start thinking about questions and answers. So a little job you can do today is just have a look at your website and ask yourself, are you answering the questions that your customers or clients are asking? Because that's where all of this is heading. So thank you for tuning into today's episode about AEO. I hope it was really helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. So if marketing is really overwhelming for your small business, please feel free to reach out. You could visit our website at littlemarketing.com.au. You could visit our socials for more info, or you can even send us an email at ask@littlemarketing.com.au.
Please note that all the information provided on this podcast is general in nature and is not intended to be specific advice to your individual situation. Please be sure to engage a professional for a customized approach to your business and personal circumstances.